Before we wrap up this module, let's take a quick look at the AngularJS documentation that's available online. I think to get good at really any framework out there, whether it's on the server side or the client side, you need to know how to navigate the docs, and that's what we're going to jump into right now. If you head on over to AngularJS.org in your browser, you can get to a lot of tutorials, documentation, and articles about AngularJS. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through really quickly how to navigate the help docs and some of the benefits they offer and how to find things along the way. So if I click on Develop, you'll see that we can get to a tutorial. There's a developer guide. This provides some articles on various topics. And then we're going to go to API reference. This is going to be the documentation that you'll pretty much live in as you work with AngularJS and are building applications. So up here on the top, you can see all the different versions, and I can actually select one of those to get documentation specific to that. We'll go ahead and leave the default here. And on the left, I can get to a lot of the different functions it offers. We can get to the little directives that we're going to be talking much more about throughout the course. Get down into services. Right here, we have a lot of these things that start with $1 called services and much more. Now, one of the services, for instance, that we'll be talking about later is HTTP. This allows us to make XML HTTP calls or AJAX type style calls over to a server to get back JSON data. And you can see as I scroll on down, I can get some sample code. And in some of these, they'll actually have some different tests you can run. Now this one, because it's AJAX, is a little bit different. So I don't see any in this particular example. But we can come on up, for instance, to a directive. And we'll be learning about some of these directives a little bit later. And scroll on down, and there's an example right there, and some different files that we can get to, and we can even edit those and run them live in a site called Plunker, which is an excellent way to learn this as you're working with these different directives and other technologies in Angular. Now from here, if we scroll on back down to the services, for instance, let's pick the window. Then we can get some API docs about it, and here is a live sample right there. You can see that one's very basic, but it'll give us everything we need to know to get started using this particular window service, and the same would go with these other ones. So I find myself using this a lot because although some of these services and some of the directives and other things we're going to talk about I use all the time, there's some that I only touch every now and then, and you need that little reminder. So this is the first place I go, is to develop, API reference, and then navigate from there based on what it is you'd like to look for.